Alright, welcome back to the Death Store tournament for any percent NMG. NMG standing for no major glitches, so no out-of-bounds shenanigans here. The game will mostly be played as intended, except for some skips in here. You'll see skips here and there you'll see in the run. I'm your host, Pudding Boxes. Joining me in the commentary booth is Shresh. Would you like to say hi?
Hi, I'm Shresh. Good to have you here.
Bareem.
Hey everyone.
And our runners today is Jay. Would you like to say hi?
Hi, good to be back.
And key points.
Wait, I'm racing today? Oh jeez. Oh man.
Off guard. All right. So this is this is match 2 since when we did the other match the server crashed, so we couldn't finish match 2. So this is revenge comeback match 2. All right. So I'm gonna do the countdown. So I'll go 3, 2, 1, go, and then on go you both start. So are you both one click away from starting the game?
One click.
All right. Okay. So on 3, 2, 1, go, and on go you guys will go. So 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Good luck to both runners.
Yep. Very excited to see what this rematch has in store. So, if you weren't here to see the first round, the VOD is available. I believe Key took it with a 122.56, which was a PB at the time.
Yep.
Give you about 0.03 seconds. Key showcasing the hook slash. I believe they will go for the hook slash again in this run.
Yeah, both runners indicating that they were going to try hook slash strats. We'll get around to that as we get further into the run. It's a ways off. Right now, let's see. All right, who do you think has the faster first door?
Looking at the approach here, my money's on Key. It's very close though. It looks very tight.
Always a fun little minigame to try and get the fastest first door you can. You're really never going to save more than a couple seconds on this split, but it's fun too anyway.
Menu glitches. So many small nuances play in here to get your fastest first split.
Yeah.
Both were really close there. I think 48 versus 50 there. First entry. You notice Jay goes for the heavy slash fast door. He preferring just to walk back into its hitbox of the door and get the fast door that way.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't think this was mentioned in the other matches. So just a fun little tidbit while we go through the DFS fight, which is mostly free at this point for anyone who's done any practice on the fight. You're pretty much never going to get hit. Back before the NMG rule set for this category, when it was still glitchless, we actually weren't allowed to do that arrow through the wall to hit the switch, which lowers the gate and skips that entire tutorial section. So what we would have to do instead is a very finicky roll onto the railing in order to skip basically the exact same thing. It would only cost like a second and a half, but it was really easy to miss, and you would essentially have to restart because, it's like to get reset up for the roll, it would cost you, 4 or 5 seconds. So it was pretty brutal reset at the start of the run times in the glitchless days. I'm very glad that we adopted the NMG reset.
Yeah, that banister walk seems it seems very spooky. And we have to do a variant of that in Hundo, so that knowledge came in useful for sure. We still kind of have that in Hundo where we use that trick on the other banister to get to hookshot and get the makeshift soul key, but yeah, it is finicky. So I am also very glad we don't have to go through that. Runners in the mini arenas here. This always a little finicky. You can lose seconds here just from missing some of the imps. Both runners going very close to the imp on the side there first before killing off the grunt. Strat which seems to have taken off recently a lot.
Yeah, there's definitely some RNG to this section, but I've found that the more consistent you are with your movement through this section, the more likely you are to get very similar patterns all the way through. And so I think one of the most important things in that just the beginning of Cemetery here is just really consistent movement, spacing out your rolls the same way every time. It just sets you up for success. Both runners did a very good job.
Arena 1 here for both sides. Roller gets away from Key a little. In the last wave, doesn't have an arrow, so just roll slash and slash. Jay meanwhile on the last wave as well.
Yeah, I liked that Jay took a little bit of a safety strat on the 2 roller wave there. I'm just dealing with the one on the left side of the arena and allowing the one on the right side to roll into the backpack to get stopped, and then carefully cleaning it up, not risking taking any damage. In a race format, you really want to be sure not to take damage before Guardian if you can help it, because you just never know, do you?
Really true. Especially with the if you're trying to go fast in Guardian, things can always go wrong. But before that, both these runners have to contend with Arena 2 as well, which also a tough fight. So let's see how they come through that. Before that, this section as well, a bunch of movement. As Very mentioned, I think if you are consistent through this, you will get somewhat consistent imp patterns at the end of this. But again, if you don't, the imps can be in different cycles. You may choose to follow you into the arena. Small things to look out for here.
Yeah, I actually like to try and space my rolls so that I can, on these last 2 imps specifically here, try and hit them as I roll through, and that solves the problem. Like, he just had to shoot one to make sure it wouldn't follow him into the arena. It solves that problem, but it also gives you a little bit of extra soul, and as you get more and more proficient at this category, every little bit of extra soul you can get for quote-unquote free really starts to matter. So it's a nice place to get that little bit extra. Saw Jay go for the heavy deflect on the first mage strat there. It's a gamble.
Looks how well manages to do it on 2 successive mages, but gets sniped by 1 grunt.
Yeah.
He meanwhile finishing up on the second to last wave. Interesting to note, Jay does let that solo roller just roll off, doesn't deal with it by approaching it at all, just backs off, lets it roll off.
It's definitely the safer play. You can end up in situations, if you don't kill the backpack cleanly, either you're too slow and it'll it'll roll and cost you a whole bunch of time, or even worse is the backpack will land in the way of the next roller from the following wave, and the other roller will get stuck in the bottom right of their arena, and you'll have a hell of a time trying to get rid of it. He's killing Guardian now, doing a very good job at the beginning of the strat. Meanwhile, Jay's on 2 HP. I wonder if we'll see a save quit here. We do. It costs, I think, 13 seconds. I timed it a long time ago, so that might be wrong. But it's in a race. It's if you're on 2 HP, save quit there every time.
Key got a pretty good second flip phase as well. Just rolled through the laser perfectly, and pretty much as good a Guardian fight as you could want.
Yep. Tucks himself into that little corner by the pillar to make sure the rebel doesn't push him off the edge, and moving on.
Refuses to hit the sign. You saw him circling
What a
around
rebel.
it.
Thank you.
Here we see Jay's fight. Good first phase. Is a little off center, so might get hit by the fart.
Yeah.
Yes. And the laser. But 2 HP should be enough to get through this fight.
Oh,
Now
it's looking
spooky.
scary. Come on, Jay.
Rolls in.
Oh,
Oh, it's a grinding attack. Should be okay. But this one is scary. Wow, perfect timing there to get
Clutched
the kill
it.
right.
all right.
Yeah.
Just don't fall off the edge now, Jay. This rebel is actually very spooky, especially when you end up on a different cycle. If you don't get the standard kill, it's really hard to predict where that rebel is going to go. Jay did the smart thing and just backed way off and let it all collapse.
A bit of cutscene. But our runners are staggered, so we do see movement on both sides. Yeah, movement through all of this is fairly consistent, but good to always get it right.
Yep, Key coming up on Crypt. Does not need to save and quit to heal. It's nicely on full HP, so it's going to be able to save that extra second or so. Jay will probably quit after getting the soul, assuming Jay knows about that strat. I think Jay knows.
Yeah, I think Jay has been doing that strat, and Key has been doing pothead skip, so I imagine we will see. Sorry, pothead skip soul rather. So I imagine we will see that again. But let's see how this all plays out. This is one part where the runners do differ. I believe Jay does not go for pothead skip soul, so he will, as you mentioned, take the saving crit in a state in crypts before heading to a state.
Jay just getting out of that cutscene now. Key entering a state. They're not too far apart yet, despite the trouble Jay had there with the Guardian.
Haven't seen anyone leave the key behind yet. I'm sure that'll happen at some point. But I've definitely been guilty of doing that myself too many times.
Yep, Jay smartly takes the save and quit after picking up the soul. So this is kind of like one of those weird situations where there's like a temporary checkpoint and the game respawns you at the start of Crypt. But if you were to leave Crypt and say go back to Cemetery, it wouldn't work. You would go back to the Cemetery door instead. But it's very handy for getting a free heal there. He got pothead skip, no trouble. See if he can get it the second time.
I wasn't sure if the soul count changed there, but I imagine it did. Yep, there you go. Because it was at 775 when he, or 770, 77x, whatever it was, when he save quit. But I think he trusted that he picked it up, so it did update post quit.
It's always a bit of a scary moment to do the save and quit while the number hasn't updated yet. I don't know. Part of it is just muscle memory, so you just do it anyway. I think if I were consciously thinking about it, I probably would watch the number during a race just to be sure. Because it is quite a time loss if you save and quit early. You have to do the pothead skip again. It's like 12 seconds or something. Really nice mage deflects there for Key.
Just finishes off the archer with arrows, which makes perfect sense, but we'll have to farm some mana for left side now. And Jay, meanwhile, going through the pothead skip.
Okay. Had to hit the mage for the mana there, which means that the mage is going to be on a bit of an awkward cycle here. Curious to see how Key handles that.
If he's fortuitous, the spawns might still work out to get those 2 hits up the ladder, but let's see. It does look like it's off though. Yeah. So he might be hoping for some grunts to show up, but he has enough to get through these 2 braziers. Jay, meanwhile, killing off the mage here, luckily with the pot, which worked out really well. That the mage spawned in position. Had gotten away earlier.
Very nice from Key there, very smooth. Picks up the extra hit on the grunt before rolling away, so he can break the pot. Jay on 2 HP here, this left side's going to be a bit scary.
Mana gathering in this section is so crucial. Jay does have a couple of grunts following him, so he should be set in terms of mana at least.
Meanwhile, Key was missing 1 mana and had to try and go for the max range heavy on the pot in order to break it without getting hit. Unfortunately, did get hit, which does lose a little bit of time. But nothing too crazy. Oh, bad pattern from the grunts there.
That's unfortunate. They do usually let you through, but sometimes can body block. I think he might get sniped by 1 here. Ooh, yep.
It's a little bit of a damage boost toward the door. That's great. Hold that time save. Ooh. Those shots can be pretty tricky. Jay had to do a second attempt there. Not too bad though. I've definitely spent my entire quiver into the wall instead of hitting the brazier I intended, so very relatable, I think, in moments. done this area a few times. He heading on over toward the first Pro Soul in Manor. See how Key handles this hallway room.
Gets the deflect into the green spot. Was hoping to get it back onto the mage, but gets the mage on teleport.
Yeah, ideally there you don't get a mage teleport at all, but it's quite tricky timing. Requires a somewhat precise analog stick angle as well. There's a couple variations. We'll see if Jay maybe can make up some ground there by getting that kill. Jay just trying desperately not to die on the way in.
Yeah, it's always spooky in this situation. Being on no health.
Yep. Made it through that. Very well done. All of left side with no damage taken is quite nice. Nice, I'm glad. It looks like Key uses a setup similar to me for that arrow. I always get nervous when I see people aiming toward the back of the shells instead of the front. Oh, the fall.
In this room, and you get the burb spins, frustration.
It's so painful. It feels so bad. Really feel for Key on that one. He gets the bad RNG pattern on Lickitung. A little bit slower.
Nice roll slash to finish it.
Alright, let's see if Jay can do this room a little better. Gets the
He's
deflect.
focusing.
Got the deflect, didn't know what to do with it. So in that situation, if you get the deflect to hit the explosive pot, the strat is to shoot 2 arrows at the mage, and that'll kill the mage.
So I was mentioning, there's multiple ways of doing it. If you get the light deflect on the mage, you have 3 arrows, and ideal is to get the charge deflect, which Key was going for, but hit it into the green part.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely many ways to go around. Spinny pot are enough for Key though. Oh, clean.
Really clean, really clean.
Let's see if he picks up the seed. I imagine race situation will require him to some extent. Yeah. Normally I imagine Key would avoid that one, but I do see most runners picking up that seed, as well as the Lockstone seed later. But I think beyond the PB thoughts in their minds, I think the runners do have the race win primary. Good big power from Key. Thirdly, just gets the 1 hit. So he should be fine getting through Imploft.
Definitely Wild Jay dealing with Lickitung here. Lickitung's being a bit of a bully. Manages to get through before another block there, so that's good. Imploft.
He had a little bit of a time on the first one, had to farm a bunch of soul, and yeah, having some issues here with the hero in first, blocking the shot to the last rager, and then having to clean up all of this right side of Imploft. Loses some time, but will not be short on soul probably now.
Yeah,
situation.
Key could make an adjustment on the fly here. If you do have to kill that many things in Imploft, it can be better to skip Spider Soul and go get all of the orbs after Abbot 2 instead. Don't know if Key has practiced that though, so we probably won't see that, but it's definitely a strat you can have in your back pocket if your Imploft goes really horribly.
Yeah, that's something which we've been floating around in this tournaments with Marcus doing precisely that a couple of times in his races. Do you know off the top of your head how much time that does take? Like Imploft versus getting those 3 souls?
I believe that in an ideal world where it doesn't cost you any more time to get the additional soul you would have gotten from the spiders, it's like 8 seconds, but
But you would have lost time in a bluff to make up for that to some extent. I guess.
Yeah, all of the soul that you'll have to gather instead ends up making it a little less than that. But it definitely still could be time save. I've been experimenting with it a little bit over the last day and a half or so. Don't have anything conclusive yet, but I'm trying.
Yeah, that's a valiant effort, you know. That's one of the community's most hated runes. For some reason. It's really not that bad, but it's just out of the way. Going up the ladder feels bad. It feels slow, I think. To anyone who plays the game, that's kind of the first instinct that can we route this out, but... oh wow,
Ooh.
double roll slash finish. Beautiful.
Very swaggy arena there from Key. Well, Jay struggling to get these braziers lit.
He talking earlier about using arrow strats in Licky Tongues, but I've seen none of that. It's just been aggressive roll slashes constantly. Really good to see. Such good execution on those strats.
Might have changed his mind about trying it, because I did link a little test video.
Yeah, fair enough. It just feels more fun, honestly. I used to do the arrow strats all the time just because it's safer, but recently I would say I've switched over and converted to this roll slash method. It's more fun.
It is more
nothing
fun.
else. Yeah.
I do think it's actually a little bit more optimal, but that's just...
I imagine it would be. I would imagine it would be because arrows at this point are weaker, so there's no reason they should be. He has to hide behind the banister here. He did miss the shot from the center. Good to have the backup in his back pocket. I missed if Jay... I'm guessing Jay took a heal there because he is back at full health, so...
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
Very wise decision.
Few
See.
spooky
Oh,
platforms.
I was
Oof.
about to say,
Yeah.
Key has some very spicy strats for these platforms. Let's see how they go.
Is he going to go for sketch? No.
No.
After that, there's no reason unless you're like ultra committed to it.
That fall put the fear of God in Key. Decided to just take a stroll.
I feel like a couple of these heavies missed, but gets a very fast kill. Should be able to. Oh,
Try to go for the heavy deflect there.
at that point, just want to do a light deflect, get the 3 arrows after that, and clean it up. Ideally, or some version of that. But yeah, at that point, he was not able to buffer the heavy in time.
Yeah, meanwhile, Jay had a reasonably clean Lickitung Arena. Did have to kill 2 waves of grunts, but didn't take any damage. Which is good to see.
Pretty cool to see the sync. They're precisely on time, at least in terms of their life split timer, and the crows landed at the same time, so they seem to be 1 crow soul apart at this point. Going into Ava 1 for Key. Did a pretty good job of Ava 1 game, if I may say so. Only had to move a little bit in the cutscene. Always the very important thing to go for. Jay, meanwhile, is going to be getting this puzzle. See if he's able to save some time here by nailing it from the center, not having to wait at the banister. He walks a bit further up to get the first shot, to make it a sure thing.
Yeah, it's not the worst thing ever. It's just a couple seconds to guarantee the shot. Ooh.
You're trying to target the green pot with the heavy, coincidentally hitting the spinning pot, but misses just slightly. Green first wave anyway.
Yeah, good improvisation on the rest of it. Cleaned it up relatively quickly after that.
Last wave here for Key as Jay is fighting the mages. Let's snipe ones. Oh, very nice. Oh my god, that was one of the cleanest finishes to the mage arenas that I've seen from Jay. Getting the double kill on the mages and then instantly killing the Lickitung right after that. Beautiful. Key getting a hitless Ava 1 as well, so these racers are just gaming right now. Beautiful stuff.
Yeah, again, some good improvisation from Key there. Things didn't go exactly like he wanted. He missed a roll slash off that the Lickitung intro onto the rolling or the spinning pot, but stayed calm, managed to deal with all the ads without taking any damage, which is always going to be faster than taking hits in that Avarice. Taking hits in that Avarice is very easy to do and costs a whole ton of time.
Yeah, that last wave can get out of hand very easily. Jay heading into Ava 1, Key getting the soul after Ava 1. Let's see if he does the improvisation and skips Spider Lair. Key we know is an active proponent of rerouting Spider Lairs out and just all sorts of soul reroutes. Key has been very innovative with coming up with soul reroutes in Hundo at least. Let's see. Yep, he does skip Spider Lair.
How much soul is Key at?
I missed it, but I missed it. Let's see. At the
see.
first
So-
skill in ruins. Yeah.
I'll say, generally speaking, the rule of thumb for me is when I leave the soul orb in ruins that's behind the locked gate, like to have a 45.
714 right now.
If you have less than 45, you're definitely risking not having enough. Have to make it up.
Let's see how many of these grunts he kills here. Jay going through the second
Yep, final wave here.
final wave here. Okay. Focusing the Lickitung. Gotta watch out for the ads here. One snipe, but should be able to get rid of these pennies. Now focus the Lickitung again.
Yep, still one imp left as well, but cleans it up with that heavy.
A bit of an awkward position just being off to that side because just it's hard to get yourself in position to actually hit the Lickitung without
Yeah.
it being invincible.
Yeah, the tongue hitbox is actually very stingy. There's a bunch of hitboxes in this game that are very lenient, but that is not one of them. You really have to be right in front of it in order for your attack to land. If you're off to the side at all, you're just not going to be doing any damage. Really nice extra grunt kills there. That'll make up a lot of the soul that he needs. He's still just a hair low, but honestly, like one extra kill here should... Yeah.
There you go.
Now he's totally fine on soul. Does not need any extra soul for the rest of, well, all of this up until the end of Ava 2.
Jay actually had to kill a bunch of stuff in Imploft as well, so let's see. Nope, does head to Spider Lair.
Goes to Spider Lair, and that makes sense. Key is the more experienced runner, is probably more familiar with going for these unorthodox strats. Jay probably has not practiced them or really looked at them, so just sticking with what you know in a race situation is definitely a smart move. There's definitely a situation where you can really screw yourself up if you skip Spider Lair and you go for those post-Ava 2 souls. The mana management is fairly important there, and you could easily find yourself at the fire without any mana to light them. And it's brutal time loss if that happens.
Yeah, that Brazier has no mana near it at all. Which is, yeah, it's not a good place to be. Kind of have to walk back up to that bomb soul and get those bots. Topside one. Yeah, it's not a good place.
He has a little bit of trouble with that Vine arena right there, but it's through it. Not too big a deal.
No further damage taken is what he'd be looking at right now, I guess. Just because he hasn't opened shortcuts, and we have seen racers die in Bomb Plant Arena, even when going in at 2 HP. Quick peek at his soul there.
Yep, seeing if
He
you needed
did-
to kill an extra grunt.
He did kill one in the middle as well, just to make sure. So he should be very good by now.
Yep. Interesting early hit on the plant there. Just
I've seen a
choosing
few
to deal
runners.
with, yeah, just choosing to deal with each half of that wave as it comes instead of all of it at once. A little bit slower, a little bit safer. Not right or wrong necessarily.
And I've definitely seen some runners do that particular thing which Key did, where he baited the bomb of the first half of that first wave onto the bomb plant itself, so that it would bomb again immediately. I don't know why that. It just looks cool, to be honest.
Yeah, I used to do that a lot accidentally when I first started running this game, and it was terrifying. Just there'd be bombs coming out of the sky, and I have no idea like why, because I didn't realize what was happening.
One thing to note is Jay did pick up the crate seed near Malformed Seed, shiny, so he does have an extra seed here.
Good job dodging those grunts there. Ooh. Hits the gate a little early, gets the dialogue.
Get your saxophones for for Key. I'm gonna keep doing that. Yeah. Forest Mom cutscene. Good time
Jay's
for Key
coming
to
up on-
stretch.
Jay's coming up on mom skip here. Does Jay do mom skip?
He does, but I do believe he's aware of the backup, so he might go for the backup ultimately.
Yeah.
Or-
Oh,
For a second, I thought it was
faked me
immediately.
out.
Yeah. Ooh, second try. No need
Nice.
for backup. Goes for the Kronk though. There you go.
Interesting strat there. And again, another little safety strat. Just choosing to shoot that bomb flower instead of smack it and roll in. So a little bit more time to dodge the flower attacks. As Jay starts Vine Arena, Key is entering Dungeon. Dungeon is so volatile, you never know what you're going to get out of Dungeon, with so many spiders in the arenas and some tight strats. Really, you're just hoping to make it through without dying.
You're
Jay
doing a good
cleans
job
up.
of dodging grunts there.
Yep,
Good stuff
cleans up nicely.
for one here. Spiders immediately. Okay, good double kill there, but spiders immediately showing why they're not our friends in this game.
Yep.
Let's see how the last wave goes. Getting the timing here on
Nice.
the beautiful improvisation to deal with that last spider which got away earlier. Just played patient, get rid of the cowards first by deflecting them, and then killing the spider at the end when it was done jumping around. There is a risk there that the spider can kind of snipe you in the middle while you're getting rid of the coward spiders, though I don't know. That's kind of what I've been calling them. Again, we don't have any well-defined names for these, kind of just community names, but he does miss the flame puzzle skip for the Key. Has to go for the backup. Jamie
Which is
Mel
a
is
sad
in
feeling.
the last wave. Yeah, it is sad feeling at that point. You can do it just backwards if you have enough mana. It's still faster than doing the bomb. Rolling into that projectile is a relatable, unfortunate feeling. I'm not sure, I haven't really asked Key, and I'm not really sure if he's going for it, but he does seem to position himself on the left and go for the slash, which damages the hammer blow while breaking the shield. But I'm not sure if it's actually hitting that way or not, so it's hard to tell. For me personally, I'm not sure if you're able to tell, Barim, if that's actually working out there.
It looked pretty hit or miss. Didn't quite have the strat fully down, but did a good enough job. Only got hit once. choosing
Yeah,
not to heal.
Is that one of the strats which has been known for a long time but has only recently started getting implemented?
It's one of the things. Well, it was known you could hit the side of the Hammer Bros without breaking the shield for a while, but it wasn't ever worked into a strat until around when the great VSync offening happened, and we realized that turning VSync off changed behavior a little bit. I started messing around with AI a little more, coming up with simpler strats.
Yeah, it's cool to know where a bunch of these strats have come from. He's had a pretty good time of this. The spiders were misbehaving a little bit, but really not bad at all. Gets through this arena hitless.
Yep, really nice. You love having 3 health going into the last arena here. I think most runners in the tournament, if they're at 2 HP going into Water Arena, are gonna take the heal. At 3, we might see Key skip this pot though, just go straight to the arena. One of the fun things about getting decent at speedrunning Death's Door, this category specifically, is the kind of progression you have when it comes to Mushroom Dungeon, and specifically how the Water Arena with the Hammer Bros, when you're first starting, is probably the deadliest room in the entire game, and you dread it every single time. And as you get better and better, it starts becoming the most consistent arena out of all of them in Mushroom Dungeon, and you find yourself wishing that the other ones were a bit more like it.
Just not having spiders makes everything better.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna see Key showcase all of the fast strats here. I do notice Key doesn't go for the ledge on the last strat, so, on the last wave. That's something which we probably will see, but does do everything else super duper fast.
Does opt to kill that right side grunt on that wave. Interesting thing to note that Key was doing is manipulating where those mages would spawn in. When the mages teleport, they spawn at like a fixed distance away from the crow, and so by manipulating your position, you can manipulate where the mages spawn, and so you can kind of get them to favor spawning more grouped together by hugging that wall there instead of just walking out near the water. You know, the worst thing is if you walk near that water, the mages can spawn over it, and then you have to wait for them to shoot a projectile for you to deflect instead of just being able to kill them nice and quick. Jay missing the Brazier strat there.
Yep, both runners having issues with that one, showing quite how tight it is. Timing is pretty precise. And Jay went for the 3-roll strat. Key, I think, went for the 2. Both of them missed, so neither wins out today, at least. Jay did have a very good Arena 1, though. Came out of it hitless. Did use the bomb plants a lot, so it was slower than ideal. But very safe and clean. Last wave here.
Loved that roll slash there, killing the spider and the fire plant. Very swaggy.
This is the match of roll slashes, clearly, huh? Both sides just really love the roll slashes.
See how Key handles this. Ooh.
Immediate bomb flame plant snipe.
Oh god, that's terrifying.
Now it's scary rest of this Avarice with a lot of spiders to come.
Yeah, the ideal scenario there is you kill the Hammer Bro while deflecting projectile into that fire plant on the right simultaneously, but it can be a bit tricky to pull off, and if you mess it up, then often you will get hit by the fire plant like he did. Doing a good job cleaning these spiders up, they're behaving.
No center strats here, or modified center strats here. Kind of.
Yeah, unfortunately this green mage is very fortunate there for the green mage to spawn in a good position.
Beautiful.
Managed to get through that very clean anyway. Often, if you let that green mage teleport away, it'll appear in between the line of you and the blue mages, and it'll eat one of your deflects, which basically guarantees that you have to wait for at least one teleport. Key fortunately escapes without that having happened. Meanwhile, it's like Jay cleaned up the third arena nicely.
Yeah,
Full
hitless
HP.
again. Yeah, continuing on. Jay's just having a time here. It's zooming along.
All right, now Key's gonna have to grab all of the orbs here, so we'll lose a bit of time back to Jay, who already got Spider Souls. He opts
You're
for
not going
safety.
for the roll. Yeah.
Yeah, there's two different rolls you can do off that ledge, which Key opted not to do. You can either just roll straight back over, kind of going over where that bombable wall is, or you can roll down and actually land on the ledge and walk along it. The kind of wall of the area. You can walk along that. Both are a little faster than taking the stairs, but in a race situation, makes total sense for Key to just gracefully roll down the stairs.
He does have no mana coming out of here, so even with killing the grunt on top of the spider lair, he will need one more unless he slashes here. Oh, of course. Never
Jay's in a
mind.
bit of danger here.
Yeah, this is a scary place to be. But he will go for the death warp if he can now. Is what he will be thinking. Oh no! Oh, that was closer than it needed to be.
Jay, my
attack.
heart. Don't do me like that.
And no death warp. No death warp. For a second I thought we were gonna see it happen, but no death warp yet. Oh yeah, I do remember Key does avoid hitting this grunt out of mercy. Misplaced feelings. It's just an AI character. Hit it. I think it's faster than hitting the totem.
Oh, it's definitely faster. It's a free. The first hit on that headless is 100% free.
Yep. That's something I've always wondered. Is it worth to do 2 separate slashes in 2 places, or do 2 slashes in the one place? Because I've seen some people do 1 slash on the lamppost and then 1 on the grunt. My thought always was that the marginal cost of an extra slash is probably not too much, but yeah, I've never actually timed those things.
Anecdotally, I'll say I much prefer doing 1 and 2 different locations, just because you can buffer the slash out of the roll and buffer your next roll out of that first slash. So you kind of seamlessly roll. Honestly, it costs like almost no time to do that first slash, whereas the second one, it feels like there's a little bit of like a wind up or a delay. And it's just my feeling. There's no concrete timing, and we're talking about,
Probably
centiseconds here.
milliseconds. Yeah, makes sense. He noticed it takes Stranded Sailor Door, a sign of the agreement that they're on the shared coming up later. Hook slash. Jay does go for the Elite Archer first, preferring to get rid of it. Very smart, I feel, to just get rid of that pesky archer shooting 3 arrows at a time.
Yeah, I've switched over to that strat as well. I will say that there is a small risk that the grunts decide to be super fast and sprint at you, and then things do get a little awkward, but it's pretty rare most of the time. It's good.
I think he's misbehaving a little. Misses 1 blue mage, trying to clean up the green mage here.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a situation here, but a lot of pretty particles, not a whole lot of danger. Jay will get through this just fine.
There you go. I was hoping for getting it in the immediate
Look
teleport.
at Key.
Meanwhile, yeah, there you go.
I do not approve. I'm sorry, I tried that strat. I think it's slower than the old way.
Museus is happy somewhere though.
So that wasn't the kind of new strat for that arena. What that was just trying to shoot all of them from the starting platform there, which requires you to kind of use your mouse, and that often makes the auto aim a little less sticky and can cause misses like we saw there. He almost had to do that arena painfully slow. Fortunately, only missed the one time. The arena was good though.
2 health loss, so I figure he's gonna save quit unless he's feeling super confident in Pro 2. in a race situation for that second or two that you lose, yeah, you definitely want to save and quit.
Yeah.
Don't take chances.
If I remember the timing right, it's 2 seconds, which is definitely worth the 2 HP.
Jay was comfortably over Soul as well, so yeah, both runners have their strength 4 upgrades.
I'll be curious to see if Key gets the swag roll to the ladder here. It's a favorite of mine.
He usually does. He usually does. So I imagine he will. Oh,
Just
almost.
a little to the right.
I just jinx these things. God, every time I predict things these races, things have gone badly. So I should stop.
But you can kind of get a feel that it's not going to happen if the first fireball misses, because it throws off your whole rhythm for the room. Honestly.
Fair. Yeah. I see that. Yeah.
Ooh.
Gets a light. And this is going to be a second teleport on both mages. One mage awkward position as well, but
Oh,
Oof.
jeez.
a bit slow first wave, but it's damageless. That's the good thing here.
Yeah.
Might get hit here almost. Ooh. Yeah, the mage projectile there was spooky. Focusing the mage, trying to get rid of it before it teleports away. I think that heavy hit, yeah.
Yep.
For a second I was wondering if it was too early.
Yeah. Overall, it was a nice, comfy, safe arena too. Just missed a couple of the fastest possible strats, but definitely still going plenty quick.
Will Jay get the bomb before Barb sees him?
Oh,
The most important part of the run. There you go.
does get it. Very sketchy location to throw that bomb from, but it works out.
Yeah. You can hit yourself in that situation and have to go into Crow 1 with 1 health down. Not the best, but somehow that bomb wall actually exploded perfectly. Every single brick was gone. It was beautiful. So good job, Jay. He, meanwhile, getting some float time there.
Gotta love that. I mean, you really don't, especially when you're on PB pace, but it's very funny to see. Yeah, there's just some weirdness with some of the floors.
Wait,
The
he
opting
goes
not
for
to do
the
geometry here.
He goes for the strat in Crow 1, but not the strat here.
I think he might just be feeling a little bit rattled after a couple things going wrong.
Fair. That might be very fair.
Wanting to kind of make things a little bit simpler here.
That makes a lot of sense because while Crow 3 strats, for me at least, I found them a lot more comfy to do than the Crow 1 ones. Can still go wrong. If you miss the switch, it happened to me in a run recently. So you lose like 15 to 20 seconds having to do the puzzle. Then if you don't have enough mana for the next one, everything just goes wrong. So. He cleaned up the mage without like a roll slash. He just rolled towards it and killed it very normally, but very fast, hitless arena.
Yeah, kind of old school Arena 3 strats there, but very safe. Barely loses any time.
You see some stream lag from Jay, but it looks like he's getting through this arena, misses a few hits on the halberd, but kills the archer first. That's what he's going for. Yeah. Seems to be the strat is to get rid of the ads first before focusing the main enemy. It just makes it a lot more comfy, especially with enemies like halberds and hammer bros who are tough to deal with up close, but if you put some distance between yourself and them, it's very easy, so it just makes sense to do that.
Yep, and Jay going for the save and quit there. Was missing 2 HP after the arena, so very wise decision.
See if Key gets the deflect and hit. Ooh,
Oh.
not the hit.
Of the more recent strats, I think that one is one of my favorites. I hope Jay pulls it off.
It is one of the coolest looking for sure.
Yeah, it's very visually satisfying.
Yeah, every time I hit it, it still feels like wow. It's actually like the bomb strats to some extent here. It still feels like the wow factor, the ones that Jay is currently facing up to, having to deal with 2 of them though, so I think there will be another teleport. Those mages faced him up really menacingly, just 2 perpendicular directions, could really not do much to deflect back at both of them there.
Yeah, and this is
Which
another one of
we-
those. This is another one of those rooms. Yeah, this is dangerous. Another one of those rooms where manipulating the mage spawns in your favor is very important. If you do miss a kill, you really want to put yourself right up against the wall to minimize the chance of it spawning over the ledge there.
Oof.
Oh, this is so spooky.
You also have to be careful of the self damage when the golden hammer bow shows up, but
Well
very
done.
well done. That's a spooky situation, and you didn't see Jay like backing off and doing like 1 hit at a time. He went for the normal damage cycle. Very confident in his skills to pull that off, so love to see that. We'll be going for the seed here, I imagine. Jay was not aware of the seed until yesterday, so I'm glad that
really?
he's picking it up now. Yeah.
He doesn't quite get the kill on the fire mage off
Good
the bat
improv.
here, which makes things a little awkward.
Did not get hit by the grunts. In that situation, it's very easy to get hit by either the fire mage or the grunt. Just something can always go wrong with those grunts. They are the most aggressive variant. So, good job by Key to improv his way out of it.
Yep. Fun fact I realized / remembered when I was testing strats for this Avarice recently is if you do a heavy or a roll slash into the fire mage and then 3 lights, it will not die. But if you do 3 lights and then a heavy or a roll slash, it will. And that's probably due to some weird rounding error or something. So my tip for anyone learning Ava 3, always start with lights.
Great coding game.
Yeah.
Q&A section question for anyone. By the way, shout outs to Clark and the folks who are working to get an event with the Death Store developers next month. Join the Death Store speedrunning Discord. You can ask questions. It's like an AMA with the devs. Very excited. Bunch of really cool questions. My personal favorite, NMG or unrestricted, by Museus. I'm very excited to know what they think of that. But yeah, some spiders popping away from Jay here, but it does manage to clean it up.
Key. So there was new tech discovered. I say new tech and discovered. Neither of those things is true. But anyway, it is faster to throw yourself into the abyss 4 times than it is to walk back to the castle door. There. So pro tip, you can save like 10 seconds for free if you do that.
It's funny because Pudding was mentioning in commentary that exact fact a few days ago, and then today we look in Discord and the Discord is abuzz with that. So I love that immediately it has been tested and figured out.
I remember
so
that it
seems
was.
to be that something... Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I remember that it was tested a while back, and didn't seem to work for some reason. But whoever was testing it, which may have honestly been me, might have been loading a save state from after the Avarice instead of doing the Avarice, which might have explained why we got the incorrect result.
Got it. Yeah, 'cause, from what I understand and what Pudding mentioned, is that glitch does do that apparently. Key, notice by the way, gets the quick kill pretty much perfectly. The hookshot servant does do a second round of hookshots, which I'm not sure what causes it to do it sometimes and sometimes not. But it does seem to happen fairly often for me personally. I would say like 90% of the time it does do the second hookshot.
I think it does it 100% for me, at least with that strat. I've never had it on cycle.
Yeah, it's very, very rare. 90% maybe, yeah, underestimating it to be honest, because it does happen very, very infrequently. But Key, it did happen with Key in his last run, I believe, that he got a 1 cycle in the race with Jay. So he has some magic in his sleeves there. Jay is going to be heading to Ava 3 here. Key is dealing with the worst split in the game. Technically, fairly consistent split, but there are a few spooky places where you can lose a bunch of time. So we'll be keeping an eye out for Key nailing those.
Yeah, since we just saw our last Everest door entrance, I figured I just might mention to anyone who has not run this game, who might be wondering what's going on, when the runners are waiting for the Everest door to open, and the reason they're not positioning themselves right up against it. You may have seen, I think it happened in one of the races to a racer, I don't remember who. If you're like too close to the door when it opens, you actually like don't get to walk into the load zone. You have to do some weird clipping to be able to walk back into it. It's a mess. So best practice is to kind of wait until the door is cracked open a bit before you approach. Definitely janky.
Notice Jake goes for the immediate mage kill here. Nice double hit to kill off the mage and the boomer at the same time. Overall, he's been waiting for the enemy, so it does take a bit more time rather than aggressively having killed them, but very clean first wave, no hits taken, no risks taken either.
Yep. When you get to this phase and you get the halberd down without having taken any damage yet, that means you did something right.
Smo does not usually behave for Jay, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Yep, she does do the full, not full 180s, but at least... Oh no, it was kind of behaving. So maybe turning resync off does work for Jay as well now, because
Nice.
in the previous race he definitely ran into issues with Smo misbehaving, so this is good to see.
He went for arrow strats on that puzzle there, but didn't have enough ammo to be able to light both braziers afterwards, so he's going to have to farm ammo off of crystals in the last brazier room because of that. I like a hybrid version of that strat where you still hookshot to the top right, but you do it diagonally, and then you shoot. You only shoot the one arrow at the other switch to save you that bit of mana.
That does make sense. Those are, I believe, Bijo had found those ones. Is that the strat which he used? I missed him doing them, but that's the one I think he usually does.
Probably. Yeah, it was probably a Ouija strat.
Gonna see Jay contend with the hook/servant and the quick kill here.
Yeah, and we can talk a little bit about the quick kill here since it's happening again. Hopefully Jay puts on a nice show for us so we can all see how it's done. Basically, you just wait until the servant does this kind of 3-direction hookshot move that it does at the start of the fight every time. And then as it lands on the final platform, you hookshot over to them, putting you on that platform. When they finish that attack, they leap back to the center. But one of the moves that the servants have is if you are aiming a spell at them from far away, they will leap to you. And so if you position yourself right on the edge of the arena and hold your spell out, then they will leap to their death.
Jay has it set up all perfectly here, so let's see how whether the hookshot servant decides to play nice. They usually do this extra cycle as we were talking of hookshots before leaping at you, and yeah, very nice execution.
It's a really, really fun strat.
For anyone who's interested in running, you can also do that exact same strat on the arrow upgrade servant, because that servant also does hookshots and has extra platforms. But yeah, we don't have any such quick kills on the fire and bomb upgrade servants. You kind of just have to fight them vanilla.
Yeah, I do have a really sweet quick kill setup for the arrow servant that you can all see if you watch my hundo run. It's very cool.
Yeah, that one is really cool. You don't even bait it onto another platform. You just kind of kill it from the center itself. Very cool. Highly recommend. Check it out.
Here comes Key doing watchtowers. One of the interesting things about the arrow servant is it doesn't actually do the hook shots until it's taken a certain amount of damage. And so you have to actually do some damage cycles before you get the quick kill. So there's definitely still like some element of skill in the combat. It doesn't just die for free like the hook/one does. He takes one hit, not too bad, going into Laser Arena.
Not a good place to get hit by a laser. 2 health is now a bit spookier. And now he's behind the laser again. These are some interesting strats from Key, I think. I think he got a bit flustered with the middle wave going wrong, so now he's improvising, but does a clean job, kills off Hammer Bro. At this point, I think as long as he doesn't take a damage from the boomers, he might still carry this health all the way to Ice Arena pot, but if he takes the damage here, I'm definitely imagining he'll take the pot before.
As much as I hate to be the spoil sport here, I do think some of that damage he just took was because of Hook Slash. Kind of extending the animation after landing from the hook shot, and plus just like less familiarity with it in that arena, I think got Key into a little bit of trouble. Jay gets the puzzle really nicely there.
Laser Arena is definitely a scary place to be trying new stuff. The laser can hit you multiple times.
Jay
Nice
going for the
second
comfy
puzzle as
room.
well.
Yep.
Yeah. The only thing we need to watch out on Key's side is not getting body blocked or comboed by grunts, especially grunts stuck in ice at the end of this section, or any sort of, shenaniganry from the grunts, basically. Looks like the grunt has a nice spawn, should have a clear path. Please take the heal Key.
For all of us. I don't know if our hearts can take it. Ooh, Jay had forgotten to switch to hook shot there. That was scary.
Yeah, that was not a good place to follow. A couple of grunts. I don't think they're gonna make it though, thankfully. Oh, one did make it, I think, just about. So he might have an extra grunt in here.
Yep.
It's gonna ignore it for now. Get rid of the second wave. Oh no, the mage did get away. Just about. I don't know quite how. I think he just wasn't in range to get the
Yeah, it happens
slash on
sometimes.
it.
It's very sad.
But slashing around though, giving us a showcase. It does, like you said, make it quite chaotic if you aren't super practiced and as smooth as you are with your motions. Because I think anyone who's done this category enough is going to be super smooth with moving around with hookshot, but it does take a little bit of a different movement, and like, I guess you have to somewhat compromise for the added animation time and stuff. Oh, bombs here.
Jay probably needs to undo. Jay probably needs to undo all the splits because it has the wrong splits open or something, and the timer stopped. So
Timer has stopped.
If Jay undoes splits, it should resume just fine, but might not cut out some of these loads until the timer resumes running.
If Pudding is here, he can undeafen Jay and we can let him know.
Sure.
Because his splits are paused,
I
so
don't.
we'll have to let him know.
Does he know the shortcut for it though?
I don't know. We'll have to find out. But there's.
This
there's
is
another
as
way
good
for
a
us to
time as
know.
any.
Yeah.
Before he gets into watchtowers.
Alright, I death in Jay.
Shresh, it's because I'm still on most percent Shresh!
Do you have undo split bound? If you just undo all your splits, but don't reset, then your timer will resume.
Well, the problem is it's not the correct stuff. It's not
That's
the right
fine.
splits.
Oh,
I do not.
yeah. Well, it won't split, but your timer will still be accurate. It's fine.
I think the other problem might be it will still split at every single other split. I don't know if Jay went and actually unchecked the settings for all the other splits as well.
And
The
I don't even.
splits
Yeah.
don't matter.
I don't
The
even,
timer just needs to run. The splits don't matter.
Yeah.
but I don't even know what my
voting.
undo splits bind is.
Yeah. Dang.
Does anyone know what the default is? Numpad 8 is default, according to
Can't-
TFT.
What? Oh, and number key 8?
Yeah.
Okay, I did it. I
So I
think.
would just undo all of the splits, probably, just to be safe. Or most of them. So I don't know if there's any extra splits that'll split in there.
Yeah, I think it will split a bunch of all the other splits as well. So just, is it running again? Guess-
I don't know.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
good.
it's good. Yep.
There we go. There we
Alright,
go.
good luck,
Yeah.
Jay. Definitely again.
Thank you. Key
Thank-
noticed did have a death in Betty. Had to redo it and got down to 1 HP in the middle of all of that.
Shout out to TFT for knowing the default bind there, by the way.
Thank you, TFT.
Yeah, it's the nice thing about live split is until you reset the splits, it does keep the timer running even after the last split. So if you undo it, it does put it back to where it should have been. And again, like it sucks that Jay isn't getting correct splits now, but you can always go back and try and estimate those splits later. What matters is the overall runtime for the run, so we can compare the racers. Jay taking the safety lever here. Key getting a little trolled by this hookshot. That hookshot is way more difficult than it needs to be. I almost wish it didn't exist.
Yeah, I don't know why the devs decided to give it a shoutable hitbox. I don't think anyone did that casually, but it exists. There's a bunch of those random hitboxes around, that you could never feasibly actually reach, even. But yeah, it's an annoying one. Leads to this nice, cute cutscene though. The best lord. Jay is going through ice skating, meanwhile. Showing us more hook shots.
Yeah, has a ton of extra seeds, so I'd be very surprised to not see a heal here after all these lasers. Even missing 1 health, Ice Arena is quite spooky.
I'll be interested to see if he also takes the lever on top of the roof.
Yeah, it did take
Or
the
if
first
he-
safety lever, and I feel like if you're going to take that one, there's almost no point unless you take the other one, because it barely, it doesn't save most of
Yeah,
the time. Most of the time is lost to the ice skating, right?
Definitely.
fail.
This section is huge, and yeah, even with getting all the hook shots. Yep. Oh no! I think he's just going for it. No, I'm confused. You do want to take the
dodges
heal
the
on
bomb,
the way
nice.
back. Ideally, you do want to actually just take that damage tank and get the heal on the way out, I think. But maybe
think
this
so?
is faster. Maybe this
No,
is
this is
faster.
definitely
actually.
faster.
Yeah, this must be faster.
Yeah, it's one of those things that always gets people when they're doing that safety strat is that bomb will always land on top of you as you go and hit the lever unless you intentionally bait the bomb away. It's
Yes,
just
these strats here. Jay
yeah.
gets it perfectly though.
Yeah, that was really
Um,
nice.
Yeah, the ruler is alive for the rest of these waves, so something to keep an eye out for.
He doing the sweatiest section of the run, at least for me. These trying to do these tight turns and these super accurate rolls and these tiny little platforms is it's always so sketchy.
Especially because you ideally want to arrive at Fortress Door carrying all your health. The roller is still alive, by the way, just kind of rolling around there. Oh, one
Oh,
health
Jay.
now, though. Bomb strats, maybe?
Oh,
No, oh, baiting the roller.
the roller! What a homie!
Oh no. Oh no, this could be bad, right?
No,
Oh,
we're
the
good, we're
roller
good.
doesn't move. Okay, the roller does not move either, thankfully. For a second, I thought it had started its animation, but it had not.
Looks like Jay is going to opt for a save and quit heal here. Oh, Jay has to undo splits again. That was why I mentioned to undo like all of them before. So if you only undo one, and then it's gonna just split again.
Maybe after Betty fight, when he's in the cutscene, we can definitely him and ask him. Yeah. Squishy Tiso cutscene. Key point side shoutouts to poor Tiso squished there. Takes the door. I imagine he would normally not have in a PB attempt, but we will see most runners take that door in these races. Jay is rolling out of the way a bit, gets hit once. Did see him pull off pretty much the optimal Betty in his PB recently.
Oh, that
There's a
boulder!
snowball
The
coming.
boulder! That's tough.
I love how we're all shouting. Oh no, the bomb's gonna hit Key. He's down to 2 health. He was very close to the wall, but I think he knew that and just went for it at that point. He just wanted to get through. He's probably gonna take a heal. Either.
Interesting.
Ooh.
Safety
Ooh.
lever there.
Key has been hitting the first lever. I think we missed that. I definitely missed that. He does hit the pink switch next to the boomer skip. While walking past it, he just shoots an arrow at it to activate it. So it makes sense to unlock this shortcut after that. Jay is in a spooky place again. Both
question
runners in
is-
spooky places. Ooh.
I was gonna say, is he gonna heal here after taking that safety strat? It looks like no.
Just in the arena. In this arena, timing the heal itself is something that you have to keep an eye out. He probably will go for it fairly early, probably right here. Because otherwise you end up mostly on the left side of the arena for the rest of this, and you don't really get an opportunity to heal. The
Yeah,
only
you can get it
time is
right as
here.
this boomer spawns.
Right here,
Okay.
otherwise it's done. Okay, I guess he's not taking this heal.
Yeah.
And if he's comfy enough, it's fine. He can just take the same crit at this point. Betty is it's going a lot better this time. Suddenly, no. Suddenly,
Shred.
oh my god.
You're lucky there
Oh my
wasn't enough
God.
time left there for you to curse it.
That was incredible because he was on 3 health and then suddenly down to 1. I haven't seen a multi-hit like that in a Betty fight very often, where Betty hits you and a snowball hits you right after, but Jay showing us that you're never really safe in this game. If you die... Oh, by the way, we should...
Oh, here, I'll
undeafen-
unmute him.
Yeah.
Oh, Jay, can you go back on the time again?
Yeah.
Can you just unsplit many times? Because it'll split basically every time that you... But if you just undo your splits like many times, that would be the perfect thing.
I unsplitted all of them. This timer situation is really throwing me.
Yeah.
Sorry about
It's
that.
alright.
Yeah.
No, it's
Hang
my
in there.
fault. I forgot to change the splits back.
You're still doing great.
Alright, good luck.
Thank you.
You got this. Just don't fight any smells. Jay, for folks who are interested, was recently trying to do the first run of Smost %, which is a category that he's come up with, where you try to defeat most of the Smos, but not all. One of the Smos is in Avarice 4 and hence requires completing the whole game. So this category is a bit more limited, more accessible, and it looks really fun, to be honest. Just kill all the Smos, besides the one in Ava 4. Of course, for those who are aficionados, there is also a Smo % where you also kill the Ava 4 Smo. He meanwhile is on second cycle here. Ideally we want to see a kill happen on this side without the Frog King switching over. Was that a self-damage? Did that even happen? Or
No, it
did
didn't
just-
land. It vanished
land, right?
on the kill. Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, so if your damage is
Um,
fast enough, then you don't even need the bomb for damage there. But it's nice insurance if you can line it up.
I think Jay's gonna get self-hit. Yep. Looked too close there.
Yep.
It's one of those...
Expect-
Sorry, go ahead.
Ooh. Expect to see a save and quit at the fortress door to get that health back.
You really should. Yeah, and that's why in these splits, even though they're fairly comfy, they're just movement and you're not worried about enemies. Taking random damage from falling off or just anything like that can throw you off time, because you then have to take a save and quit. You have to take the fortress door first of all in a PB attack in a race. That's probably not as much of a consideration, but having to take the door and the save and quit because of falling off or self-bombing yourself at the beginning of the previous split is unfortunate, but something you have to think about.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
interesting little tidbit there. Key at the upgrade screen considered briefly going for the haste upgrade instead of Dex, opted to go for the Dex instead, but you could tell there was definitely a decision being made there. Wasn't quite sure where he wanted to go. Ultimately sticking with what is the default strategy at the moment, going for the Dex.
He loves haste. We have seen that. As we were mentioning before, he has tried to route in haste upgrades in Hundo at least, super early. Haste is one of those things, I think, very nebulous topic, I guess, to some extent. We don't really know. We haven't, I think, as a community, figured out how much it helps. So when people choose to take it, it is kind of an ad hoc, off-script kind of thing. So key not doing it here. You can actually have enough soul at the end of an any % run if you take one extra soul orb to actually get the haste upgrade for LOD and Gauntlet, but at that point it's definitely not worth it.
Yeah, it also requires about 14 extra soul more than you would normally get,
Oof.
roughly, just based off my how much soul I end up with. So
Yep.
it's an orb,
Yeah,
plus you have to kill some extra stuff. So
pretty much. Very true, actually, yes. You do have to do some extra killing because it is very tight at the end otherwise. Gate skip attempt here, right side, so safe at least.
yep.
1 health, gate skip, it's scary. He's gonna do it again. Choosing to try it. That's
Nice.
his second try.
Yeah.
Love to
Just-
see it.
Take this platform carefully, Jay.
Getting stuck against any of those stanchions on the side, or yeah, it's a spooky place. Plays it safe, gets through.
He gets a great fireball there to start this arena. It's actually a lot tougher than it looks to get that tight angle into the furnace really early in the room. It lets you get a very early cycle. Because if you get that fireball in that furnace early enough, then you can make the first piston cycle there. If you're a little later, the cycle doesn't quite work out. You end up waiting extra time.
Furnace, as we've seen in the earlier races, is all about cycles, so definitely we'll be keeping an eye for Key making those.
Not the start to Fortress that Jay would have wanted there.
Falling in. This is not a water bird. Hitting the wrong flame plant. Baits the boomer while he's waiting, which is smart. Yeah, that section that Key was in, getting body blocked, always a problem, but gets out of it. Both runners on 3 HP should be fairly comfy, but never super comfy in either of these respective sections.
He took that nice little hookshot shortcut. If you end up behind on the cycle on those pistons there, hookshot into that green pod is a great way to kind of skip that. Oh, Key is stuck in a loop.
No.
That's the craziest. Wow. That's wild. That was just like an infinite falling loop. I don't know if there was much Key could have done there.
That was like the worst position. Oh man.
Yeah, that was crazy. All the enemies just kind of pushed him off into the void, and then they just stayed around the ledge right where the spawn was. I think part of the problem is there might have been a way out of it, but it's really hard to tell where you're spawning because the screen is black, and the crow is spawned in while the screen is black there. It makes it really tough to get out of situations like that. It's really unfortunate.
Was part of it that Keys potentially like the analog stick, like you said, if you keep it pressed, you do spawn in earlier than you think, and you just keep falling off? Or do you think it was the body block was also pushing him off there?
I think it's a
Couldn't really tell.
combination for sure.
But does get through it this time. Be having PTSD right now.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
Jay's
Jay,
1 health again. He was at 4 health coming into this arena. Has already taken 3 hits. Got to be very careful going into the second wave.
yeah, I'm not gonna have a heal here for the next wave of boomers.
This arena can definitely be a big bully. You can get wombo comboed by the boomerang going back and forth. The boomerang can literally hit you 3 times just because its animation is so slow. Moving around the arena, you can get hit. And if the boomer lands on you, it's hard to tell in an isometric game. where the boomer is going to be landing, so small things like that can mess you up. But with this deflect, he should be able to clean it up and continue on to Frog King. We will have 2 boss fights, potentially side by side here.
It's always fun.
And yeah, he not skipping door. Okay, smart.
Yep, I do think it's faster to take that door, even at full health. Oh, Jay just quit the desktop.
Oh,
Dang.
no.
Wait.
Wait, did he? Oh no, he's back.
Oh.
Okay. It looked like, yeah, I was scared for a second too, because it looked like it was put out. But thankfully, we will see the parking show up here. A hook slash for grandma fight is definitely nice because you're hook-shotting to her all the time anyway. Ideally don't want to fall off. It is an annoying arena, annoyingly easy to fall off sometimes if you're not aware of exactly where you are and you're trying to go super fast. Grandma's not getting no fight. Yeah.
So probably has a bit more health than he would like. Good deflect there.
Timing that deflect and just being in a good position to time that deflect from that Nova kind of attack is hard. He does a good job. Kills off Grandma. Jay is on this side. Going to try to go home for get some damage in. Pretty clean fight so far though.
Yeah, it's going very well.
Jay does hesitate on the ledge strats sometimes back up. That's a good job with them. Full gusto here. Going for
On full health, I can't imagine we can at least try.
Definitely going pretty well, but it does fall in once.
Yeah, that's still going to definitely save time.
Yeah, it was pretty close to the end of the split attacks anyway, so not a big deal. Should be able to clean it up after this bomb.
Nice bomb there. It's keeping things nice and safe. All right. Key heading to Grey Crow here. This is it's always kind of a make or break moment for a run. Extremely tough fight.
Yeah, I know we've repeated this many times, but again, a fight where things can go wrong very quickly. You could suddenly find yourself on 1 HP. The spawns of the murderlings can just appear on top of your head. Can't really escape that. And yeah, things can just go wrong. But when it's fast, this fight is one of the most satisfying ones. Let's see what key comes up. He's gonna have some tech smashing to get through before. And Jay will also have a little bit of just tranquil movement through observation. So we have a little bit of breathing room here after some intense action on both sides.
Yep. Barring an absolute catastrophe, it does look like he is going to take this race, but not all hope is lost for Jay. Jay is still around 3 minutes ahead of PB pace here, so despite the technical difficulties and all the rest, this could still very well end up being a PB for Jay. Clean movement here so far.
Going for the swag strats. Does usually go for them. It's nice how, like to some extent, comfy those strats are, despite how cool they look. Usually cool strats are hard, like super hard. That one is precise. Definitely can mess it up if you let the platform go too far or just hookshot the wrong end. Lots of things can go wrong. Jay doing it cleanly there. Very cool strat. Honestly, hook slash on these platforms is not my favorite thing. It just makes everything really, really spooky. The hook slash animation, like you said, can take you a bit further than you want off the edge of the platform. So one of those places where hook slash harms rather than helps.
Yeah, I find in categories where I have hook slash, like Hundo, I will wait a little extra long after my hook shot to input attack, just so I don't get the hook slash, because it's so spooky.
Very pro piano time.
Yeah.
Not gotten a huge amount of damage, and ooh, suddenly
Slow pattern and 2 health missing. Not what you want.
Scream though. Scream is nice. Got some good damage in there, but oh, okay, cool. Thought he was gonna get sucked in by the void for a second. He
Decides to play it safe
for
there.
that.
There's
Because
always
it's close.
you can always take a gamble there on that with the egg and leave it around. Oh. So spooky. Nice.
There you go. It was close to dying. That's key. Was aware of that. Does a good job. Just playing it the slightest bit safer than he normally would like to get through it at least. Jay is also on 2 HP. This arena bullied a little. Gotta watch out for that bomb always.
Yeah, so when that egg is out, it pulls you in toward it, and if you collide with it, it explodes and does damage to you, which would have killed Key there. So very smartly hookshot it to blow it up. You definitely can try and fight Grey Crow without killing it, to try and get a little extra DPS in, but often the pull will yoink you into some projectiles or, all kinds of bad stuff. It's advisable
ideally,
to deal with it.
It's nice to if you were like deflecting back to Grey Crow, if it is in line and you manage to get a Murderling to destroy the void thing, that feels good, but very often you kind of just have to do it yourself. LOD gauntlet time here. Very exciting movement sections on both sides, basically.
Yep, Jay's down to 2 HP here. Gonna need a clean movement through this room that Key had some trouble with.
He, as far as I know, has not been going for the roll outside the heavy slash attack pattern on LOD, which gets you very door skip, but let's see if things have changed since the last couple of days. A lot of runners have been really dedicating themselves to prepare and practice new strats, so we might see new stuff come out here. First of all, let's see if he goes for the first door skip.
Yeah, he gets a really nice cycle through the furnaces there.
Attempting it. I think he's attempting it, but doesn't get a first try, ignores it, and moves on. Second try,
Yep.
rather.
Gave it a shot, that's all you can hope for.
She ended up behind the cycle, but worked out to some extent because he just waited for the next one. Heading to Grandma.
Nice instant doors here from Key.
Let's go topside here. I feel like everyone has their favorite path through a bunch of sections of Gauntlet. A bunch of them are pretty comparable from what I understand, so.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a big comfort factor there.
Oh, never mind. There's hook slash, so he doesn't really need to go for the charge slash or the heavy slash attack pattern. He could probably get Betty roll skip without that. That is one of the advantages of hook slash, I guess, is these sort of things. Gauntlet definitely becomes very comfy. Grey Crow to some extent becomes comfy, but again, we did see it go very spooky. Let's see a Betty roll skip here. He does seem to have the damage, I think. Yep, just managed to get the last hit in time. Grandma fight on this
goes
side,
for the
but
swag roll.
why is this happening to Key with these continued fall animations? Very spooky, but at this point there's very little of Gauntlet to get through, and Key had backed a lot of health.
Oh god!
Yo, oh no, don't take the second damage. Yep, just get through this. Just get through this. Just get through. There's just a couple of bulls left. Only one more left. Okay, we're through.
Oh man.
He's scaring us. Jay, meanwhile, cleaning up with Grandma on the other side. He was also low on health, but did clutch it out, so good stuff there.
Yep, Jay's still well ahead of PB here.
Yeah, Jay
Meanwhile-
heading into Grey Crow, good stuff.
Yeah.
And LOD on this side.
Yep,
Sorry.
Key's wrapping the run up. Not a PB for Key. A few too many sad moments, but a very good run regardless. Assuming a good Lord of Doors fight here should come in comfortably under 127.
Jams in chat for Lord of Doors music. Music in this game, always a highlight of playing it. Key getting some good initial damage cycles. Pot hit, looked like.
Yeah, went for a heavy there instead of a light, and it cost getting hit by that pot.
It's out the backhands. You can see Key's laser strats. Everyone seems to have their own favorite to try to get the frame perfect roll there. One more hit. He knows, I was gonna say he knows Lord of Doors is close, so playing it fast and loose with his health, but maybe a little bit too fast.
Nah, we're fine.
Backing away from the orbs.
We're fine. We're fine.
We
we're
are fine. Okay. We are fine. Indeed. GG's to Key. Good.
Yep.
Really
Great run.
fun time there. Yeah.
That'll
We
be the
have
victory
Jace-
for Key here, but Jay is still on PB pace, so we're definitely going to let Jay finish this run out.
Could be exciting. Jay is looking for. He's looking for a 1-3x. Let's see if it happens here. Oh, sorry, never mind. Jay did get the 1-3x, right? So
Yeah, 137.29 is Jay's current PB.
got it. So still well on pace for that. Let's see how this goes. Jay, for folks who aren't aware, is a newer member of the community, but has really torn through the any percent category. Started off with like a 2 something, but in basically the weeks since the tournament has started, has grinded his time down to a 137. Amazing to see. Love to see new people coming in and the tournament helping them improve. Tournament
Yeah,
seems
that-
to have helped everyone improve a lot, so good to see.
Yeah, Jay was considering picking up this run for a while, but never quite committed to actually doing it. And it seems like the tournament was just the spark that Jay needed to really get into it. And really appreciate the courage and the commitment to sign up for a tournament for a game you've barely done anything or haven't even done a run of, and put on a good show anyway. Despite getting eliminated here, still put on a really good show, some good runs, and probably going to PB here. Fingers crossed.
Great Crow observed really just using the hook slashes. Got a lot of good damage in there. Right there. Great Crow is cracked a lot. They have 3 health, so very good fight so far.
This is looking pretty clean.
Just needs probably a few more hits and he should be done with this monster avoid getting
Nice.
swarmed. Beautiful. Instant save and quit as well. You love to see is not overhyped to the point that does happen. You just are so relieved to get through Grey Crow, you forget to save and quit. Immediate reaction. He knows he's going for this PB, so love to see that happen. Just 2 more splits to go. Zoom J.
Yep, it's still a bit over 3 minutes ahead of PB here. Just needs to avoid a death in gauntlet. Which is easier said than done.
Definitely. Gets the upgrade.
Oh, had enough extra to get a haste upgrade too.
Nice. gonna be speedy through Gauntlet. We'll have more lower roll cooldown, so should help in small ways. I don't know if you really notice those, but it definitely helps.
One minor downside to the haste stat is that it does make your roll a little longer, and if you're not used to that, if you haven't practiced with it, it can definitely make some fights feel a little awkward. You can end up, out of range of an attack that you thought you would still be in range of when you're dodging stuff. With 5 strength, it's not nearly as much of a worry because the range is so huge. But it's definitely one of those things about haste that is kind of strange in that, like, it saves you time on movement, but can cost you time in some fights.
He's gonna go fight Steadman.
See ya.
I think no, going for Arrow Servant. I guess he's just doing all bosses at this point or something.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe show off the Arrow Servant tech.
Yeah, maybe he was listening in and wants to show off his tech. It's a hard one to get also, but it looks really cool. Wait, no. Oh yeah,
I don't know if he ever practiced it. I guess we'll find out.
We're gonna see it practiced right here. Jay did not attempt to go for the door, to go straight for the normal door, which makes a lot of sense. Just waste time, honestly, if you're not super comfy getting on that edge. Let's see if we get some instant doors on the other side. Nice. First one, clean. A couple of attempts for that hook shot, but it's through without getting clipped. That's what you really want to avoid, is the situation that Key got into at the end where a few clips and then he's got him at a very low health. The important thing is he banked his health early on, which is what Jay is doing, keeping all the hit points, not letting any of them go to waste.
One interesting thing to note about the movement in this section is back when we were rolling past the buses earlier and we were kind of just moving along, it's actually kind of a difficult movement section to do optimally, just because you want to go in as straight a line as possible without running into those buses. If you put any of your momentum toward those buses, you do slow down a bit. It does eat some of your speed, but if you stray away from that wall even a little bit, you will get hit by one of those later doors, and so it's kind of a bit of a game you have to play. How fast do you want to go through there?
Yeah, not trying the swag roll on the right side there. Going safe and clear, hitless through Gauntlet so far. Looks like it will be a hitless Gauntlet to the end.
Yep.
Just
That was
Lord
a
of
great
Doors
job.
left.
Yeah,
This
it's
is
like
a
about like
amazing
3:30 ahead with PB.
This is an amazing time, honestly. Like, it might be a sub 35 at this point, barring any deaths. But LOD is a tough cookie, so let's see how Jay deals with it. We do see the quick kill, not the fast quick kill that Vor was mentioning on the right side, but we do see the principle is the same as the hook slash servant, kind of baited to fall off and die. Thank you, Key, for illustrating. I do appreciate it. The most useless upgrade, though, IMO.
I enjoyed it a bunch in my my casual playthrough, which was an umbrella playthrough. Give me a little bit of extra punch with less mana investment.
Fair. It is nice for like an umbrella playthrough. Yes, that is true. Unless you're doing an umbrella playthrough with no upgrades and no seats. Everyone should do it. Just saying. Yeah, I think Kian is dead home, but we have really very clean fight so far. He's been missing some hits, but not taking any hits himself. Was able to bait out the extra backhands from Melody as well, so good damage cycle. Rolled through the orb. I don't think he got the roll slash, but very clean. Just Jay doing an excellent job of showcasing all the strats.
Nice, GG. So it was a 133.53 or so. Timer
Yep.
didn't stop because the splits are kind of misaligned, but 133.53 I think was the final time there.
Yep, it looks pretty much exactly what you say. That's not just a sub 35, it's a sub 34. That's amazing.
Yeah, that was a fantastic job.
Yeah, let's bring in the runners and talk with them. Hello, runners.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you feeling?
Frustrated.
Thankfully, I'm feeling the opposite of that, except for the timer situation, which I don't know if that's something I can actually like fix later, or if I'm just stuck knowing that I PB'd without having a time.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
we were
we can,
watching and
we
you
can
did great. So
we can manually retime it, so should
yeah.
be okay.
Yeah,
He
the only
does
thing that'll be a
take,
bit weird is load time that's being cut out. Sorry, go ahead.
Key does
Was-
take match 2, so that's good. Good work, Jay. Good PB. That was amazing.
Thank you. Someone please teach me how to manually time it out later.
Big congrats to Key for the win, and congrats to
Thank
Jay
you.
for the PB.
Thank you.
Yes.
Great job, both runners.
Please check out like all the runner where everybody here is streams. So please check out the runners, the amazing runners. Check out the amazing commentators. Okay, so that is it for this match. We're going to raid over to really longathon. All right. Thank
Thank you for
everybody.
having
Really-
me.
Yes.
Yeah, real quick, there will be another race tomorrow, so
Oh
tune
yes.
in.
Reem
Oh, who's
and
gonna be in
Upper.
that race for?
Who was in that race?
Some nobody, and then upper
Yeah.
casserole.
I was gonna say Cass is in it, so that's gonna make it hype.
It will
Cass,
be
Cass being there is pretty
tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. EST. So make sure to tune in for that. Yeah.
It is Vorim versus Upper Casserole, and day after we also have another match, TFT versus Thundar. So
Yep.
a lot of action next couple of days.
Super exciting.
Thank you everybody for joining us. All right.